Hello, in this video I'm going to be taking a look at some of the UADx native plugins. The latest one to be released was the Pultec EQ collection. So I'm going to switch out some of the EQs across this track that I'm working on and just try out the Pultec with them. Also going to try out the API 2500 on the drum bus here. I'll do it first. One thing I really like about UADx is that they've sort of reconfigured their presets, and some of the presets are actually really well thought out. So you've got a bunch for the drum bus here. This one's add space, drum bus glue. These can be pretty good starting points. You might need to adjust the threshold on them or the output gain. But generally, they're very good. Plugin that I was using across this track while I was tracking it. So I was tracking the guitars here through the Vulture, which is one that I really hope gets some native treatment soon. It's very DSP heavy, but it sounds awesome, especially on guitars and bass, and I think I'd track all the instruments through that. Can do some really cool stuff. So for example, the guitar solo on this track is just a regular distorted guitar, but it was a crazy preset. Let me see what it was. I've added it in the notes so I can keep track of it. So it was the I Hate My Parents preset, which I thought was funny. So I'm actually processing with the DSP version of the Vulture just on the drum overheads. For the mix. Just to give them an extra bit of bite. Really like what it's doing. In terms of a saturator, it's quite unique. It has a bit of a insanity to it that other ones don't tend to have. So I've disabled or bypassed Smart EQ, and I'm going to put the Pultec EQP 1A. I'm just going to go through and see if I can find a preset here that might work. Either of those two would work quite well, but I quite like what it's doing to the snare on that one. So I'll take a look at these. I think I'll just go with the bass for a minute. So if I bypass the Smart EQ on that as well, I'll go for the MEQ5 on this one. And I know there was one that I was messing around with earlier. It was called Bass Focus. For the guitars, again, I bypassed the Smart EQ and then MEQ5. There was one called Guitar Focus that I quite liked. Just boosting a little bit at 5K and a little bit at 200. Same thing on the duplicate guitar. I think I'll use the same preset. Giving it a bit more weight, a little bit more bite. On the drum bus, I could add the EQP1A. Let's test out a preset. Drum, earth, and air. Working well. So then just the guitar solo. I'll bypass Smart EQ. Go for the MEQ5 again. Beefing it up just a bit. Try the kick drum on its own. easy. So just a boost around 60. So yeah, definitely some really well thought out presets with these plugins in general. If they're not gonna work for you straight out of the gate, a little bit of tweaking and they'll get you right in the ballpark most of the time, which is a good time saver. I generally do reach for presets a lot of the time and then just tweak them to suit the material that I'm using, rather than save my own presets. A lot of these units that the hardware was sort of, or they were modeled after the hardware. So these are sort of tried and true presets that they put together in a lot of cases, which is really cool. A lot of them are producer presets as well. So they've been sort of curated by mix engineers. But yeah, they sound great. The Pultec's, the APA 2500 also sounds great. What I'll actually do here is I'll solo the bass again, and I'll just show you the Studer. Just adding a bit extra bite to that bass guitar, and you can actually use the tape pretty well to tame high frequencies on electric guitars and stuff like that. But in this case, I like the gnarly kind of guitars. The Culture Vulture just tracking through it and printing the effect. From what I'm hearing, that Culture Vulture was like a secret weapon of the Queens of the Stone Age guitar player or singer. And I can see why. It's a very interesting sound and saturator. But yeah, hopefully you found that helpful, and I shall be back with more videos soon. Cheers.